Hey there, Survivors. Cougar here, and we have gotten the final update before the full release of Survival Fountain of Youth, which is a great survival game in my opinion. And it's got a whole new introduction and tutorial section. And I thought that we would check this out since it is going to be part of the full game once that releases on May 21st. All new cinematics and scripting. So I'm going to shut up and we'll watch this together.
According to historic records, on March 4th, 1513, 3 ships sailed from Puerto Rico. They were heading to faraway islands and were led by the famous explorer Juan Ponce de Leon. The goal of the expedition was to search for the legendary Fountain of Youth. It all began in Puerto Rico, when Governor Juan Ponce de Leon gave military support to the chief Gaibana in a war against other tribes. The Spanish soldiers quickly ended the war and restored peace. The grateful chief told Ponce de Leon an ancient legend of his people, a legend about Bimini, a hidden island lost in the sea. According to the legend, in the center of Bimini is the Fountain of Youth. Anyone who drinks from it will enjoy long years of health and youth. The chief also gave him an old map, covered with inscriptions in an ancient language. The map showed an uncharted group of islands. The location to search was clear, but the inscriptions were still a mystery to uncover. The captain believed in the legend and began to prepare an expedition. The best scientists and sailors of the New and Old Worlds volunteered to join his adventure. A total of 3 ships sailed off, the Santiago, the Santa Maria, and the San Cristobal. Ponce de Leon was sure that the ancient map would lead them to the fountain and bring them fame, wealth, and eternal youth. The voyage to the islands took an entire month. On the 30th day of the journey, the lookout spotted islands up ahead. They were the islands from the map. The expedition was just 1 day from its goal.
All right, I like the new introduction. It definitely gives you a beefier sense of backstory instead of just, kind of waking up on the cot or the hammock and things start to go wrong after that. But yeah, I like it. I like it. So our new goal is preparing for the council. We've got a little combat tutorial here. Yep, teaching us how to fight. This was already in, but ow! Doesn't matter, we don't actually have any stats at this point, so I doubt we're gonna die. Great, and then we'll just grab the captain's map and go to the captain's cabin. So that's just kind of to teach you about how combat works. And now we need to light the oil lamp. Oil lamp, oil lamp. There it is. And place the map on the map stand. Before we do that, let's see if there's anything to pick up. There's the expedition logbook. I think this is all the same text as was in before the recent update, but I haven't read it. I'm not comparing them word for word, so I don't know for sure. But there's the map stand. Put our map down on it. Oh no! Things going horribly wrong. Ow! So now, here's a grotto location map. This was in the before the update. So there's our grotto that we're going to be looking for. And I don't think there's anything else to grab in here. Oh wait. Ancient artifacts, no, something about ancient artifacts. We're not going to read all this stuff. Nope, nothing else to pick up. Nope, nothing else to pick up. Okay. So now we're just going to, because we're playing on hard difficulty, so we can take one item from the chest. I'm going to go with the leather backpack. I find that most useful in the early game. And leave the ship.
The storm came out of nowhere. None of us were ready for it. Strong winds and giant waves blew up in a split second and crashed into the ship. The sails were torn apart, and the ship slammed into the reefs. The sailors jumped from their bunks and tried to save the ship, but it was too late.
That stuff's all new
I
too.
came to my senses on the sandy shore. My memories were gone. I could not even remember my name. But I was alive, and hoped that at least one of my fellow crew members had also escaped.
So in the previous version, you just washed up right onto Hope Island. Now you are going to start out on a tiny little tutorial island that's just off the coast of Hope Island. A safe, contained space in which to learn some of the basic mechanics of the game, like finding a green coconut and doing something with it, like opening it and drinking it. Great. Now our goal is to make a stone axe. To do that, we're going to need to harvest some stones from the stone pile. And find some sticks. Let's see, there might be some sticks just lying around. I'm going to grab that coconut as long as we're here. Now, I'm not going to be playing this as if we're doing a full-on survival run. This is just to check out this initial starting area. Okay, here are some pterodon trees, which will give us sticks and bark. We don't actually need the bark at this point, but I'll get as many sticks as we can get here. I don't want to spend too much time gathering because, again, we're not doing this for real. We're just doing this for checking out this first new area. So there's Hope Island there, and you can see off in the distance, you see the balancing rock that is, well, hold on, I can't see it from this angle. That balancing rock, which marks the grotto, we saw that on the map that we found on the ship. So we're not quite on the island, but we're not that far away, and we've got the raft that we used to get away from the shipwreck here waiting for us. All right, so we need to create a stone axe. I'm just going to get out of the sun, although you'll notice we have no effects showing, no buffs or debuffs showing in the upper left-hand corner. So you are pretty safe on this island. Your health and food and water and energy are still going down if you're not doing things right, but we're going to make a stone axe. Craft one stone axe. There we go. That'll take an hour. If you're not familiar with this game, like The Long Dark, crafting and harvesting and stuff like that all takes time. So it'll tell you how long you're going to spend doing it. And then that time passes. So you do have to balance what you're doing with how much daylight you have, how much energy you have, how much food and water you're going to spend in doing this, whatever you have to do. We're going to make a melee weapon. That's going to be a wooden spear. We now have a melee weapon. Let me just make sure it's in my number 1 slot, and the axe is in number 2. Okay, now it wants us to kill a crab. There's a crab. While crouched, of course, so we don't scare it off. And I am actually going to kill, I think there were 3 cat crabs here. The crabs have a new texture. That looks really good. Much more detailed and realistic than the last one. There have been a couple of updates since the last time I played, so some of the things that I'm noticing as new may not be brand new, but they're new to me since the last time I picked this up. Let's see if we can get one more crab before we move on to building a campfire. Those crabs will be coming back here toward us, toward the beach. They're up over the hill right now, but oh, here they come. Yeah, I don't want to go chasing them too far. There we go. Whoops. thought I killed that one. Oh, I did. Okay, there he is. And where did my spear go? One thing I have noticed with this update, stuff is falling through the terrain mesh. So that's not good, and it looks like we lost our spear through the terrain mesh. So I'm going to have to... Oh, no, here it is. Here. Roll down the hill. We're good. Okay, now we need to craft a spindle fire starter. So crafting fire starters... Oh, fire starters are under tools. Yeah, well, fire starters. And craft that up. That takes 2 sticks. And now we're going to craft ourselves a campfire to cook up our crabs. It'll take us 20 minutes to build this campfire if we are successful, which we are. And it will take us it'll take us some time. I'm going to add some tinder here to shorten the time it's going to take to start this. We're going to add a little bit of fuel, not too much. That'll burn for 7 hours now. Ignite that up good, and next objective is to cook food on a campfire. All of this stuff was kind of in the original, but now you're doing it in a safer environment and a less risky environment, give you time to do stuff. It wants us to craft a mapping charcoal, which we will do here at the fire. Great. And now it wants us to harvest liana from this tree up here. 10 of them? Yeah, sure, whatever. It's going to take a long time. Now we need to craft a rope, which we need some green, some leaves, which I can harvest off that tree there, but there are a bunch just lying on the beach here, so why don't we grab these instead? That'll let us craft 4 ropes. We don't want to overdo it because, again, all this stuff takes time, right? So if I try to craft up 10 liana ropes from the 10 liana we harvested, that's going to take some time. That's going to take a lot more time than we really want to spend doing this. I'm just going to make 4 ropes then. Okay, good. And now we need a place to sleep. Getting a little bit sleepy. Wants us to gather 5 narrow leaves. 3 from you. And 3 from you. And that's enough. And now that we've already lost the sun, so it is time for us to get to sleep. We do have to eat these crabs, but we'll do that in a second. Let me just get a bed down. Bed. Primitive bed of leaves. Boop. And build it. 30 minutes to build the bed. Okay, good. Now it wants us to sleep, but before we do that, let's eat up our crabs. That helps our hunger a little bit, and then we're going to crack open this coconut and drink that. And then go to sleep. Looks good. It's a pretty game. I like it. I like it. And I like this new tutorial section. Alright, now we're a little low on food and water, so we're not going to be regaining health during this sleep time. But go ahead and sleep. Alright, now find a cartographer's tree, and it points us toward one. The sun is up now that we've slept. So we can go have ourselves, we can use one of the lianas that we made to craft a rope ladder. That surprisingly does not take any time at all. But that's okay. Alright, and then this just teaches you how mapping works. And this is a great place for mapping because we're so high up, we're going to be able to map quite a bit of territory here. So let's get mapping. We will use the charcoal that we made in the fire as our mapping tool. Great, so that shows us the new little tutorial island here. And then over here is going to be the grotto that we've heard so much about. So now we are done-ish. The little raft that we used to escape the shipwreck is not in great shape. So we're going to craft a primitive ship repair kit. We don't have far to go, but just to, knock out these tutorial objectives. I'm just going to get... it's out of habit. We're not taking any damage from the sun right now because we're on the tutorial island, but just out of habit, I'm going to run into the shade. And I'm going to... What are we doing? A primitive... Okay, primitive ship repair kit. There it is. Which will require one more of the narrow leads. And there's one right there. Okay, primitive ship repair kit. Oh, that's builder toolkit, primitive ship repair kit. There we go. Craft one of those. And repair the sea vessel. I don't know. This barely counts as a sea vessel, but done. Now, we just need to land on the Island of Hope. Yeah, we're sleepy already. We did spend a lot of time. We didn't sleep really well last night, but we don't have far to go. The raft, you know, this little crap raft is a good thing to have at the start of the game. Just for doing some basic exploring and getting around and stuff. Of course, you can't carry anything on it. You can do some fishing on it, but we don't have a fishing rod or any bait right now. So, and there is the grotto that we saw on the map that we got on the ship. All right. Enter the pictured grotto is our new tutorial objective. And we got some friends waiting for us. Hello. Hold on, I'm exhausted. Yeah, this is level 1, so day 1. We don't have many skills, strength, or stamina. Our objectives are to take the letter on the wall. This explains a little more backstory there. Cutscene.
Our captain, Juan Ponce de Leon, also survived the shipwreck. Sea currents brought him to this same island just a bit earlier before my awakening. He located the grotto and made it his temporary shelter. Then he started to act quickly and decisively. After building up the temporary camp, the captain began to explore the island. He named it the Island of Hope. During another trip, he heard distant cannon shots. It was a signal from one of our ships. The captain left this note, then hurriedly packed up and sailed toward the sound of the cannon fire. He was in a rush to help his crew. Running quickly, he forgot his spyglass on the other side of the island. If I find it, I will be able to look around the island.
The writing is better. The voice acting is better. I'm glad of both things. Note about the living water, yep. Okay, and now check out the map on the wall. All right, so this shows where the captain dropped his spyglass. X marks the spot, and it shows us how to get there. And normally at this point, if I were actually playing to survive here, I would take some time to do some basic survival prep before setting out across the island. But in this case, we're going to have to spend the night here because we're exhausted. We can't set out right now. But let me just show you before we set off that they've added a bunch of resources here around the grotto. People were not really settling here because resources were so far away. So the devs have added long sticks, 3 trees providing long sticks, a bunch of trees providing small sticks, a bunch of broad-leafed plants. There are some here, and then there are some on the other side of the grotto. Like if we turned right instead of left coming out of the grotto, there'd be even more of the broadleaf plants on the other side. And also a few more of the palm trees for the grass and stuff. And we are just going to have to slap down a bed really quickly because we're about to have trouble. Get 4 of these. We might need a couple more. Let me get a couple more. This is also new, Buffalo region drawing. I think that's a great idea. A little picture of things to come in the Buffalo region. Great. And now let's go slap down a bed. Oh, and blueprints, and not the bandage. We got that. We just want a primitive. If I were doing survival here, I would actually build the next highest tier of bed, which is the bed of leaves, because we have access to the long sticks now. Really easy access to long sticks. So why not build a better bed? But we're just doing this to do this quickly. Yep, I know I'm exhausted, but I have to continue making my bed. Okay, and now let's see. We don't have anything to eat or drink, but we're so tired that we're just going to sleep a couple hours. Let's just sleep those many hours, and then try to get some food from one of the coconut trees here. To do that, we're going to need some kind of cutting implement. So let's pick up another stone and check out the blueprints for that. One of them is a stone cutter. 27% chance of injury for doing this in the dark, but we're going to have to risk it. Yeah, okay, so we cut ourselves, but that's okay, because we're not really doing survival here. Okay, so coconuts? No, where's the coconut tree? Did they move the coconut tree off of here? Okay, one of these used to provide coconuts, but I'm not seeing it. But that is definitely a coconut tree over there. I see here more of the broadleaf plants. Yeah, and this is risky too. Again, 27% chance of getting injured gathering at night, but we needs it. Okay, now back to the grotto. Oh, and more coconuts here. Forgot about those. Okay, so we're going to need to probably open all 3 of these coconuts. And both of the brown coconuts. So that took a while, but we needed the food. Let's eat those for food and water, and then drink these for water. I'm going to save that last one for the morning when we wake up. And then see, we have that minor cut, but I'm not going to worry about it because we're just going to do a quick run here. Okay, 8 hours of sleep until morning. I'm going to make that 7. And then we're going to immediately set, oh yeah, here's another new change. They've added a burning pyre at the back of the cave here. So you can see that you can actually get through this cave. Before this update, or maybe, I don't know if this was added with this update or one of the recent updates, but it was just looking back into the cave, it was just blackness, and you didn't know that it was actually a tunnel leading through to another area. So we're going to take this shortcut. If we look at the map that we got on, we go to our journal and the Forgotten Spyglass map S to view the document. It says go through out the back of the cave and then through a little pass, bear right, pass a big stone head will be on your right, and then hook around to the left, and that's where the Captain's Spyglass is going to be. And that's what our goal is, because there's new stuff over there as well. So just bear with me as this, day 1 character who has no sprinting or stamina skills slowly trudges all the way across the island. It's a beautiful day, though. Nice morning for this. Hello, short-eared dog. Don't mess with us. We only have a crappy spear and no skills. Chickens. I don't think I've ever killed a chicken. Food is plentiful if you know where to find it and what to do with it. There's no need to bother the chickens if you don't have to, because they mean you no harm. Okay, so we came out the back of the grotto. We're hooking around to the right a little bit and coming across a road that actually passes through the gap between those two mountains. So if you remember on the map that we saw earlier, it was showing that it was leading, the path was leading through a pass, and that was the pass. And now we'll pass this big stone head on our right. Let's go ahead and get that. We got a survival point, which we could use to upgrade our skills, perk point. Normally, I would cut down some of these. We're going to be using this pathway a lot, and I like to create a clear pathway, but for the purposes of this, we're just going to try to sneak through here without getting injured. There we go. And continue along the cobblestone pathway. Our new goals in the upper right-hand corner are to craft, clothing and stuff. But I just want to show you the neat new stuff. We're basically just following this flagstone, cobblestone path. So, I mentioned earlier that people weren't really settling at the grotto. A lot of people were coming over here to this inlet to build their main base because resources were. There were a lot more resources. Well, they were closer. You were closer to a lot of resources over here versus back at the grotto. But now that they've added all the resources back at the grotto, you really now have two viable options for settling. You can either come over here and use this little bit of, so there's stuff, there's the Captain's Spyglass. I'm not going to pick that up just yet because there's going to be a cutscene. But look, you've got 2 builder toolkits, a wooden hammer, yours for the taking, some seeds, those are chamomile seeds if you want to do some farming, and survival tasks, build a house, make a water collector, make a spear. I'll start with these tasks and we'll see how things go. Ponce de Leon. So you've got a little starter base if you want to settle here on the inlet, but the grotto is now actually a more viable starting location as well. Go ahead and pick this up. Oh, no cutscene here. Okay, but there you go. All right, well, that was pretty quick, but that is the new tutorial section, the new tutorial island, and the new little remnants of what Ponce de Leon started to build when he was shipwrecked here. Is there anything in the box? Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, here, another good thing over here, an obsidian saw. Of course, it's at half durability, but that's going to really help you in your early endeavors as well, especially if you're a builder and want to get building right away. So there you go. Since that was so quick, that was really just a few minutes, I think what we'll do now is I'm going to jump over to the new start that I've started after the release of this latest update, and we'll actually do some real survival. So, see you in a sec. Okay, so here we are on a new run that I started after this most recent update. We're back at the grotto. I like to settle at the grotto. I've never built over on the inlet. I know a lot of people like to, but you're presented with this shelter, and I like the more realistic-y survival stuff. So if you're presented with this perfect shelter here, why bother building? Why waste time and resources building a new hut to sleep in when you've got this fantastic cave to sleep in? Sure, you share it with some roommates. The scorpions do appear in here every once in a while. But let's just see what I've got down so far. We have a coconut water collector and a clay pot water collector. So water is not really a concern for us anymore. Of course, I had to build the improved pottery workbench to get the clay pot to make that water collector. And then I've got a log carrier. I've got a cart. I've got a bunch of builder toolkits because the next thing I'm just waiting to do is we're building a ship to go explore elsewhere. I've already been up to the top of the mountain with the Captain's Spyglass, and on the way back down gathered a bunch of bamboo. I've been gathering massive stones because those are coming in really handy, and wide leaves, green leaves, all this other stuff. What else? We've got a carpentry workbench. We've got an actual regular workbench. We've got the kiln for firing up the clay pot. I'm in the process of upgrading my hearth here to hearth with a pot, and I actually have now I have everything that I needed for that, so we can go ahead and upgrade that. And I've built 2 food dehydrators, but I have no salt to put in them to actually dehydrate. I've also mined a bunch of obsidian, so we have obsidian to work with. I'm using an obsidian spear now and an obsidian axe. I've also built 3 piers and a dock. 3 little foundation pieces taking us out to deeper water. And a dock. So we're ready to build a boat here, but we're not quite at the boat building stage just yet. I really like the addition of that new island there, just if only for aesthetics. It's so much nicer over here with the new trees that they've added and that to look out when you're standing in the grotto. You're coming out of the grotto and there's actually stuff to see instead of just a barren beach, which always looked so barren. And now it's not so much. So I built this because we wanted to get salt to start dehydrating some of the meat. I've just recently been on a boar hunting expedition. I usually wait to hunt boars until I have an obsidian spear. So first thing I did after making the obsidian spear was to go hunt boars. And we got to get this meat hopefully on the drying rack soon, but I don't know. That's going bad pretty quickly, so we may have to just cook that up. I was about to fill a water container with water, but we don't actually... both my water containers, the bamboo flasks, they're both full of actual water, so I'd prefer to use... Let's see if I have a... Well, I have a coconut flask. That's full of water too, but I can drink that and empty it and not lose as much water that way. Because we're going to have to get some salt water and put it on the hearth and boil it to get some salt. So let me just drink up the... Oops, no, don't drop it. Come back. Drink up this as much as I can drink until I'm full, and then empty the rest. Transfer, empty. Now we can fill that with salt water. And then we're going to have to start the fire. It's going to burn for 10 hours. That's plenty. I'm actually going to add a little bit. Oh, no, wait, that was long sticks. Well, too late. All right, well, now it's going to burn for 16 hours. Good. And we'll start it with some cattail tinder using our new flint fire starter. We found 2 pieces of flint up at the top of the mountain when we were where we had to go to use the captain's spyglass, and I used those to make some tinder, or to make a flint fire starter. Okay, now we need to, in the water tank, put in the salt water from our coconut flask. And then go to the recipes here and get some salt somewhere. Sea salt. And we put in 10 units of salt water so we can make 2 of these salt rations. Good. Now we can go over here, select the blueprint. We can use some meat and the sea salt to dry up some meat. It'll last a lot longer. Won't go bad as quickly. Do that 3 times here. Nope, that's it for the salt. Okay, so but the fire's still burning, so we can make some more salt. Because we also got a bunch of lard from the boars that we killed. Water tank, add salt water, and make salt. And there's the rain. Good. Not that we need it. We've got plenty. Oh, wait. That one's all set. Wait, is that one all set? No. Put another one on here. Add some more meat for drying. And here, more meat for drying. Look at, we're gonna have all this dried meat. That's great. And if we're out of meat, no, we still have more meat, so we can make more. Let's make some more salt. Water tank, salt water, add, crafting, sea salt, double it, and burn. More meat. And even more meat. Okay, sure. We also have lard. We could make salted lard. That stuff's really good as well. So now we just gotta wait for the food dehydrator to do its thing. The fire is burning, so is there anything that we need to do with the fire? Raw intestines from the boars that we harvested. So we could probably, if we've learned the recipe, yeah, we can make soup with bejesus. Okay, great. This is a terrific food source. It restores 20 food, 38 water, and 10 health over a period of 33 minutes. So let's fill up the water tank with some fresh water now from our bamboo flasks. Whoops, no, not that. And good timing because it's raining now, so we can go ahead and put all of our fresh water into the tank and then hopefully refill our bamboo flasks with fresh rainwater from our catchers. Okay. Now we make the soup with bejesus using 2 raw intestine and 5 clean water. We don't have enough to make 2 of these. Oh, we do. Great. We have enough intestines and fresh water to make 2 soup with bejesus. Good. Got 2 of them now. Excellent. Anything else we could make? We do have eucalyptus leaves now. Oh yeah, another thing that was added with this update, it will pull ingredients from storage for you. So you see this little crate icon next to the eucalyptus leaves. That means that I'm not carrying the eucalyptus leaves on me, but they're in a nearby crate. So it's going to pull the eucalyptus leaves from the crate for me when I do the crafting. We can make 2 of these, okay? And the rain stopped. Let's go make sure we get all that water before it evaporates. Good. Okay, so we got back basically all the clean water we used to make the soup with bejesuses. We just got back. Anything else we should make? Let me see. I have 3 steamed leaf bandages, 3 scorpion venoms, hibiscus petals, tobacco compress. All right, we're good on bandages, I think. And we've got an obsidian saw that we just repaired. So that's the obsidian saw that we found over where Ponce de Leon started to build over on the inlet, and we used a piece of obsidian to repair it up. So now it's in good shape. And I'm going to drink up this open green coconut just because it's not going to last forever. And we've also got some dried dates that I already made. This animal fat is going to go bad eventually unless we want to, once these dried meats are finished, we could use the fat there. I'm just making sure that we're not missing anything so we can go ahead and put this fire out and save the wood that's in the fireplace. I think we have everything. Let me just check my charcoal. I have 2 pieces of charcoal. Okay, so that's good. So I'm just going to go ahead and extinguish this fire for now. Cool. And what time of day is it? It is almost nighttime. You see down here at the bottom. Gives you a little day-night cycle and the current weather. So we're not going out to do much of anything right now. We're going to spend the night here. But yeah, it looks pretty good, right? Looks good. I'm very excited for the full release. Yeah, I am going to start another full playthrough with the final release, but this is a long game. There's a lot of hours in this game, unless you're trying to speed run it. So I probably will be doing lots of heavy editing and stuff, skipping sections and so on. Because, if you look back through my helmet cam footage, I've already been through this first section of the game multiple times. Okay, what to do now? Oh, yes, we only had enough stuff to build one of these hide dryers. We might be able to build a second one now before we go to bed. But in the meantime, we can certainly add new dried hide onto there. Yeah, so we crafted the tanner workbench and a skin dryer. So you skin the boar and then you scrape it on the tanner workbench and then you hang it up here to dry out. Now we have 1 piece of dried hide, which can be used in all sorts of crafting and stuff. And I think what we were missing for a second dryer was long sticks. Yeah, so we have 2 long sticks on us and none in our storage or lying around the cave, and I think these are still replenishing. You have resources are being restored, resources are being restored, resources are being restored. In fact, I think I've recently harvested all of the long stick producing trees in this immediate area. Let's just look at the map real quick. So these I've all harvested and these I've all harvested. The nearest ones for us are going to be over here. Fortunately, there are tons of them over here. So I think in the morning what we need to do is head out this way and get a stock up on long sticks. We're getting a little sleepy already, so let's just see if we can eat something and go to sleep. What could we eat? We could eat some dried dates. Yeah, let's do that. We don't really... The soup with bejesus is good because it provides healing, health regen, and I don't need any right now. Our health is maxed, well maxed, but with this red part at the top, don't worry about that. That's shock, basically, from having escaped the shipwreck, and we can use the living water to restore that little bit, but I'm not going to waste the living water just to restore that little bit of red. I'll wait until I need real healing before using that living water. Okay, let's just drop off some of the stuff that I won't be using here, like the coal, the wooden hammer I won't be using right now. I'm not going to put leaves in here. They take up too much room. I'm not going to put sticks in here. Everything else I think is good to keep with us. I'm going to put the coconut back in my crate. The coconut flask goes back in the crate. Drop off my wide leaves and my narrow leaves, since I don't need them right this second. This animal fat, it's going to last the longest if we keep it on us, because this storage crate is not going to keep it as fresh as keeping it in our leather backpack. So we'll just keep the animal fat on us for now. We are still hungry. I don't suppose these are ready yet. Nope, not even close. And I don't really have any other food for us except the soup with bejesus. So, I think we're just going to go to sleep. And the fact that we're below 75 on food just means that we won't be doing natural healing while we sleep, but we don't need to. So, okay. Let's just check this. Oh, gosh, we've got more raw meat, which is about to go bad. It's going bad so quickly, it's probably going to go bad in the time it takes me to light a fire. But let's just see. If it goes bad, that's not the end of the world. Nope, it hasn't gone bad yet, so we can actually make some roasted meat. We can make 4 of these. Super. Which is just what we needed for filling our bellies. Stomach ache status appeared. We had a 2% chance of having indigestion from eating that meat. We just got unlucky and got a little bit of indigestion from it. Probably not going to kill us. If we have some chamomile here, we can craft a remedy. I thought we might have chamomile remedy in here already. No? Okay. Alright, so we're going to have to make some chamomile. We could just wait and see if it goes away on its own, but since we've got the fire burning already, let's just knock out some chamomile juice and fix it before it gets worse. So if we leave it alone, it'll either go away on its own or it will get worse, in which case we would have to use 2 of the remedies to fix it. So let's just be preventive and use that, and our stomach ache disappeared. I just want to empty everything out of here, everything that we're not going to need. This book I need to read. That unlocks an important effect too. Oh, there's more soup with bejesus ingredients and more animal fat. We don't have room to hold all that animal fat on us, but it would do better in the covered container than in the cart. So I'm going to transfer it all into the cart now. I mean, into the covered container. Yeah, I changed my mind. We're not going to carry it around with us. If it goes bad, it goes bad. Which is not a bad thing, because there is now a use for rotten food when food goes bad, and you actually need rotten food later on to do stuff. So I'm not stressing out too much if the fat that we got off the first boars we harvested goes bad. Alright, my inventory looks fine. The cart almost looks fine. There's a little bit of emergency food, the dried mushrooms, and emergency water, the green coconut. And this book can stay, and all these lianas can stay, although it looks like we're almost out of lianas. So I think instead, we're almost out of liana rope. There are 6 in here, but we want some with us. So as long as we have the lianas on us, I'm going to go ahead and make some liana rope before we leave. Oops, sorry. F for blueprints, liana rope. We can make 6. We can make 7. Click on lianas, click F for blueprints, choose as many as you want, and craft. That'll take us 3 hours. So we've just spent basically half the day not doing the thing that we said we were going to do when we woke up. But I think there's still enough time in the day. Yeah, it's only midday, so we are still going to try to run out and get some long sticks. There used to be scorpions back in this tunnel here. I have not seen any since this latest update, so I think they decided to just remove them entirely when they added that light at the back of the tunnel. Normally I would be concerned about setting off to a destination halfway across the map in the middle of the day, but we have built a bedroll, so we have a place to throw down a sleeping bag and sleep if night comes while we're still out in the wild. This is going to be basically the same trip we just took at the start when we started the new game there. So how about if I just meet you guys over where the long sticks are? Just jumping in quickly to note that I mentioned earlier that I like to cut a path through here because you're going to be using this roadway a lot, and you just passed through the path that I cut. And we've got a little short-eared dog. I tried to go around him, but he aggroed on me anyway. And now he's camping our... He was camping our cart, so I had to kill him. I don't like to kill anything unless I have to. But we had to kill that guy. And they don't make very good eating. You can roast them on a stick and eat them, but in my opinion, they're more trouble than they're worth. So there's our first batch of long stick bearing trees up there, but I believe I've already harvested most of the long sticks off of these. Most, if not all. Let's just do a little quick double check here. Oh, I can get 3 here. Whoops, there's a burb. Ah! He was going to come for us, that burb, but he ran into the rock there and couldn't get a good line. But he's probably going to come back for us. Nope. Yep. He's diving. Yeah, he's coming for us. No, he's not. He's changed his mind. So that's his nest over there. So if we went any closer to the nest, he would definitely attack us. But I think if we stay far enough away, he won't. Another short-eared dog guarding the long sticks. I think we're going to have to kill this guy if we want to... Oops. If we want to move around in these long sticks and harvest these long sticks freely. We're going to have to kill that guy. And we did. Okay, there's a bunch of long sticks still left here. Good. That's one I've already harvested. There will be more long sticks on it in 9 days. Resources are being restored. Resources are being restored. Here's some... Oh, burb. Burb wanted to dive bomb us, but again, these trees got in the way. Oh, here he comes. And, Burb, what do we get from you? Eggs! Excellent. And a feather. Good. Because we will be in the market for feathers now. You can ignore feathers when you're first starting out because you're not anywhere close to making a bow and some arrows. But at this point, where we are now, we are close to making bows and arrows. I have picked up too much stuff, and we're too far away from the cart. Just drop some of these, move the cart a little bit closer before they all roll down the hill. Did we lose them all? They rolled down the hill? Okay. Oh, we can find them. They're not gone. What did I drop? 6 of them? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great, now we're stocked up on long sticks. Now we can go back and make that drying rack. I mean, we could actually... Should we get even more long sticks as long as we're out here? First, let me double check, make sure I've harvested all these. And then we'll go look at some of the other ones that are nearby. Map check. We're here at this group, 2 groups of long stick trees. We could go over here, basically directly behind me, and get some more. And now we're basically back over at the inlet where we found the little shelter that Ponce de Leon started to build. We're going to have to kill yet another poor short-eared dog because he's guarding the long sticks. I'm just waiting for my stamina to regenerate. I'm sorry, buddy. Now, if we had been picking up the short-eared dogs, 3 of them, that is a reason to start a fire and cook them up. That is a fair amount of food, but I'm not hurting for food, especially now that we've got all that meat on the drying racks. All the boar meat. I'd much rather have, pork loins and bacon than short-eared dog meat. And the other boar intestines that we still have are probably still going to be good when we get back home, so we can make more soup with bejesus. And now we shouldn't have to worry about running out of long sticks for quite a while. Now that we've got, what do we have now total? 40 some long sticks. Awesome. And as the sun sets, it's just going to be a long trip home. So I'll meet you guys back there. Okay, we're coming up on the back entrance to the grotto here. Just to point out, on the right-hand side of the screen, now you see all the red markers there, the red indicators. That's just telling me that the leaf-based clothing that I crafted at the start of the game has become so degraded that I either need to repair it or build new stuff. And as soon as we get this second hide drying rack up, we're going to be thinking about crafting leather armor, or hide armor, excuse me, not leather armor, but hide armor. Hide-based clothing. So I'm just going to let those red icons sit there and hope that we can replace the stuff that's falling apart, the grass clothing, grass armor, with hide armor before it absolutely falls apart. Oh, we've got a visitor. Hello, Mr. Scorpion. Yes, come into my backpack. I will turn you into a bandage. All right, great. So now let's get a drying rack, a skin dryer. Build a second one of these. We might even do 3 of these eventually. Let's see how we do with 2 first. It is nighttime, so building this tonight will incur a risk of injury unless we light a torch. So I'm not going to build that right now. Since we're going to have to sleep anyway, we might as well just do it in the morning. I'm going to drop off some of these. Yeah, some of these long sticks. I just put them in a pile over here. Something that was recently added in one of the recent updates is, I'll just show you if I can find them, the storage stuff. Where's all the storage? I haven't played in a while, sorry. I forget where all this stuff is. There's so many things. Let's just see. Storage. Yes, so twig storage, you can build a storage container. I just pile stuff on the ground, but if you want it to look a little neater and tidier, you can build one of these storage containers and dump everything into it just to keep it all together, and also a log storage. But I don't mind just leaving stuff on the ground. It's fine by me. Okay, we just need a little bit of food and water before we go to sleep. Food. And these will last till morning. I don't think we have to cook them up right now. Just drop that yellow leaf. It's in the way. Now it's really in the way. And drink some water. A lot of water. Actually, that would have been a good opportunity to use a soup with bejesus, because we do have a little bit of health that we need to restore from that the hits we took off of the short-eared dog. But we are pretty good on food and water, so we should get natural healing anyway. We will sleep for 7 hours. Yep, all right, so we naturally healed. Now that it's sunlight, we can go over here and build ourselves. Running a little low on durability on the obsidian axe, but we have obsidian so we can repair it. Okay, that's good. Is this guy dry? It is. So I'll pick up 2 of the raw hides, put a new one on here, and put one on here. Good. Now we have 2 dried hides, so we're on our way toward making hide clothing. And it looks like we still have some time. If we look here, we still have some durability left on the grass stuff. Leaf hat, leaf cape, leaf sandals, leaf skirt. Our leather bag that we took off the ship with us is almost destroyed. So we're going to have to build a new backpack at some point. But not today. I kind of wish that there was a way to get rid of the red icons on the right-hand side of the screen. Okay, I know that the stuff is deteriorated now, and I just, you don't have to be reminding me 24/7. Just put it up there for a little while and then let them go away or let me turn it off so I don't see them all the time. All right, so what are we doing today? Let's look in our inventory and see what we need. I can get rid of some stuff. And I don't think we have any more eggs. You need 2 eggs to make 1 batch of cooked eggs, and I don't think we have any other eggs. No, we don't. Should we cook up the intestines before they go bad? Yeah, so let me get rid of the 1 feather we picked up, the scorpion that we picked up. I ran across a tobacco plant on the way back from harvesting the long sticks, so I'll just put that in there for safekeeping. And then we'll start a fire. We need more fuel. Let's have it burn for 9 hours. That's good. And use cattail as tinder and ignite. Cool. And now we need... this is going to use a lot of fresh water. We still have a bunch in the tank. Good. So we should be able to just make the soup with Jesus. We have 3 raw intestines, so we're going to be able to make 1 of these and then have 1 leftover intestine, which will probably end up going bad and becoming spoiled, rotten food, which we can use as fertilizer when we get a farm built. In which case, I'm just going to put this last one in here and let it go bad. You know what we have to do is I like to read these books as soon as I get them because they offer really good benefits. It's going to take 6.5 hours to read this book. So you just want to make sure that you have enough food and water to get you through that period. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else we should make while we're here. No, I don't think so. So I'm going to put out the fire. And we're good on food and water now, so let's just take some time, especially since it looks like it might be about to rain. Today would be a good day. If it starts to rain, that's a perfect day to stay inside and read a book, right? So we're not going to go for all 6 hours. Just in case it does start to rain, I'm just going to read for 2.5 hours. See if the weather changes. Nope, still just partially cloudy. Another 2 hours. And still not raining, so we'll finish this off. Okay, and now 50% reduced fall damage and injury from reading a book somehow. Not sure how that works, but there you go. And that was basically our entire day. It's almost nightfall, and we're exhausted from sitting here reading all day. So let's just check on our dried food. Yes, all this dried meat is finished. Great. And we've leveled up our drying skills. So we don't have to worry about food for quite a while with all this dried meat. And we've gotten to level 3 drying. Fantastic. Fantastic. Good. So let's eat din din and have a sip of water. Running a little low on water now. Not too bad. Should I eat 1 more dried meat? Yeah, dried meat. And a little bit more water. And then we're going to sleep. Oh, 13 hours? That's a lot. We don't need 13 hours of sleep. We're going to get up before dawn. We'll just sleep for 11 hours. Oh, shoot, and it rained. Okay, that's all right. I mean, hopefully the sun's not up yet, so the water that was collected here should still be here. Yep, okay, good. Just what we needed. More fresh water in our 2 water collectors. I do have 2 sap collectors collecting date juice on 2 date trees, 1 down there and 1 over there, but we haven't really needed it yet. We've been doing fine with these 2 collectors. Okay, so what's next? I think next, well, I think at this point actually we've seen the tutorial, the new tutorial, and we've done a little bit of basic survival. So we're going to call it an episode here. Thanks for watching, everybody. And yes, there will be a full playthrough of Survival Fountain of Youth when the full version releases on May 21st. See you then. Stay safe, survivors.